For herbivores or animals that eat plants, the ultimate destination they want to reach is the Serengeti National Park during the rainy season. This UNESCO World Heritage Site covers an area of approximately 15,000 square kilometers, and its landscape changes dramatically each year due to the cycle of rainfall. This cycle creates one of the most breathtaking sights in nature. More than 1.5 million wildebeest migrate together along a circular route, along with other herbivores such as zebras and gazelles. This massive migration also attracts some of the most feared predators in Africa, including lions and crocodiles. But the Serengeti is not the best place during the dry season because at that time, more rain falls in the north. In Kenya's Masai Mara, wildebeest usually arrive in the Masai Mara by August and stay there until the end of October before the rains start to increase again. In this part of Africa, there are 2 rainy seasons each year. The first is from November to December, which is called the short rains. During this time, the wildebeest begin to travel back south as the grasslands become green again. After the short rains, one of the most remarkable periods of the year arrives. The wildebeest spend January, February, and March in the southern part of the Serengeti. And during this time, the calving season also takes place. Around 50,000 wildebeest calves are born each year, with most births happening in late February. These newborns need to grow quickly, because when March and April come, the long rainy season begins and their journey to the western part of the Serengeti starts. At the end of this season, the grasslands in that region are the most abundant and greenest. May usually signals the end of the rainy season and the beginning of another amazing chapter. As the wildebeest approach the rivers flowing toward Lake Victoria, their breeding season or rutting season begins. This happens between May and June. After this, the main goal of the wildebeest is to find greener pastures in the north as the Serengeti gradually dries up. This part of the annual migration happens from July to August. The most famous of all, during this time, the massive herd must cross the Grometi River and Mara River before reaching the Masai Mara. Crossing these 2 rivers is one of the most dangerous stages of their journey. Thousands of wildebeest die every year. Some are swept away by the strong river currents, while others fall victim to the massive crocodiles waiting for those who lag behind the herd. On average, a wildebeest lives up to 20 years. And throughout that time, they repeat the Great Migration every year, an endless journey for food, safety, and their continued survival. As additional information, if you're wondering about the unusual things you can see in this satellite image, let's take a look at some of them. This is the Ngorongoro crater, a massive caldera formed after an ancient volcano collapsed. It's part of the larger Ngorongoro Conservation Area, which was recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1979. The crater itself covers an area of about 100 square miles. One of the most unique sites on the map is this massive red lake. This is Lake Natron, home to countless microorganisms including spirulina, a blue-green algae that contains a red pigment called carotenoids. These pigments are what give the lake its bright red color. Not only that, flamingos that eat these organisms also develop pink or reddish feathers because of the same pigment. To the east, this small white dot is the peak of Mount Kilimanjaro, which stands over 19,000 feet tall, making it the highest mountain in all of Africa. It is also part of Mount Kilimanjaro National Park, which is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and this large body of water is Lake Victoria, the second largest freshwater lake in the world, surpassed only by Lake Superior in Canada. It's even more impressive when you realize that the entire Serengeti is only about a quarter the size of Lake Victoria. Blue wildebeest. Although wildebeests are well known for their annual migration between Tanzania and Kenya, their actual range is even wider. This species is divided into 5 subspecies, and each one has its own unique color and specific area. The main subspecies is the blue wildebeest. It can be found in the southern part of Africa, reaching as far as the countries of Angola and Zambia. It is also the largest of all the subspecies, with a weight that can reach up to 600 pounds. It can be recognized by its black beard and tail, as well as its dark fur with a slight blue tint that becomes more noticeable in the right light. In the northeast, you can find the Cook's wildebeest, which is only found in the eastern part of Zambia. Its color is lighter than the blue wildebeest, but it also has a black beard and a black tail. Meanwhile, the Nyasaland wildebeest can be found between Mozambique and Tanzania. Its color is also light, and it has a thick white stripe on its snout, which serves as its main identifying feature. Further north, the eastern white-bearded wildebeest can be found living between Tanzania and Kenya. As its name suggests, it is easily recognized because of its white beard, in addition to its lighter color compared to other subspecies. Lastly, there is the western white-bearded wildebeest, which can also be found between Tanzania and Kenya. Perhaps this is the most well-known subspecies because these are the wildebeest that undertake the famous annual migration between the Serengeti and Masai Mara. The western white-bearded wildebeest is the smallest among the 5 subspecies. Similar to the eastern type, it also has a white beard, but its fur is darker in color. It is also notable that none of the 5 subspecies of the common wildebeest has a white tail. However, they have another relative in the same genus, a species that is unique in many aspects. Black wildebeest. The black wildebeest, also known as the white-tailed gnu, has dark brown fur. It has white hair at the base of its upright mane, as well as on its tail. Young black wildebeests are easy to recognize within the herd because their fur is lighter in color. As they grow, it gradually changes from gray to a dark brown color. Aside from their unique color, this species is easy to recognize because of its distinctive horns. These are larger, especially at the base, and instead of spreading out to the sides, they curve forward in a long arc. It's only about half the size of the largest common wildebeest, and it can weigh up to 350 pounds. This is also the only species of wildebeest that has what looks like a mohawk, or a standing tuft of hair on its snout, as well as long and thick eyelashes, which even newborn calves already have. Unlike the common wildebeest that can be found in wide areas of Africa, the black wildebeest is found only in the southernmost part of the continent. Most of their population is in South Africa, but they have also been reintroduced to Eswatini and Lesotho, and there are also reports that they can be found in Botswana and Namibia. The size of their herd depends on the amount of food available, but it usually consists of several dozen individuals. The birthing season runs from November to January, after an 8 to 8.5 month pregnancy, which is also common among other animals that will be discussed in this list. When the male calves reach about 1 year old, they are driven away by the dominant bull out of the main herd. After this, they form what are called bachelor herds, groups made up only of young and fully mature male wildebeests. In the late 19th century, this species was almost completely wiped out due to excessive hunting, but over time, it gradually recovered. Currently, it is listed as least concern or no longer at risk of extinction. And in the last assessment in 2016, it was estimated that there were more than 11,000 fully mature individuals remaining in the wild. Like all the animals on this list, they live in grasslands and are often seen together with other types of antelope, including the blesbok, which we will discuss at the end of the video. Hartebeest. The hartebeest may look strange or even a bit funny, but its body is similar to other antelopes and it can run at speeds of 70 to 80 kilometers per hour. One of the most fascinating characteristics of the hartebeest is the number of its subspecies. Of all the animals in this video, this one has the most recognized subspecies. Although scientists have different views about the exact number, there are currently no less than 7 living subspecies. Let's start from the most common to the rarest. The red hartebeest is among the most distinctively colored. It has a darker reddish-brown coat, a characteristic shared only by another, rarer subspecies. According to the IUCN report in 2019, it is estimated that there are about 130,000 red hartebeest, also known as Cape hartebeest, living in various countries in the southernmost part of the world. The Liechtenstein's hartebeest, on the other hand, can be found in the northeastern range of the red hartebeest, up to around Lake Victoria. It is estimated that there are over 80,000 individuals of this subspecies, and it was named after the zoologist Martin Liechtenstein. The Lelwel hartebeest looks almost the same as the Liechtenstein's hartebeest, with a pale color, and their horns are also almost identical in shape. It has a population of around 70,000. It can be found on the other side of Lake Victoria, which is also adjacent to the habitat of the smallest subspecies. The Koch's hartebeest can be found together with the western white-bearded wildebeest in the Masai Mara and Serengeti. It has a population of around 40,000. It is easy to recognize because its horns spread out to the sides and it weighs no more than 300 pounds, making it smaller compared to the largest subspecies. Meanwhile, the western hartebeest is the largest of all, weighing up to 500 pounds. There are an estimated 36,000 individuals found in West Africa. Next are the two rarest subspecies. Swain's hartebeest is the second rarest. This is also the only other subspecies with dark red fur, but it is different from the red hartebeest because of the shape of its horns. Like the Koch's hartebeest, its horns spread out to the sides from the top of the head instead of pointing upward. It has only about 800 individuals and also has the smallest habitat range. It is found only in southern Ethiopia, especially in the Senkel Swain's hartebeest sanctuary, which was established to protect its remaining population. But the rarest hartebeest is the Tora hartebeest, which is found between Ethiopia and Eritrea. It is considered critically endangered, with only about 200 individuals remaining in the wild. Hirola, the next species we'll talk about, has almost the same number. The Hirola is one of the rarest antelopes in the world, with no more than 250 mature individuals remaining in the eastern part of Kenya. It is also known as Hunter's hartebeest because of its resemblance to the hartebeest. It has a pale brown coat. It is also called the four-eyed antelope because of its large and noticeable preorbital glands, or glands in front of the eyes which make it look like it has an extra pair of eyes. Blesbok. This same characteristic can also be seen in the Blesbok and Bontebok. These glands, which are larger in males, secrete a special liquid. They use this liquid to mark their territory by rubbing it on the grass and plants at the boundaries of their domain. In this way, they let other animals know that the area is owned by a herd or a dominant male. It weighs no more than 175 pounds. The Blesbok is the smallest among the group of antelopes we have discussed. However, it can also be considered one of the most colorful. The striking difference in the color of its fur is very noticeable. Its coat ranges from various shades of reddish-brown to bright white, giving it a unique appearance. Like the black wildebeest, the Blesbok can only be found in the southernmost part of Africa. However, it has two separate populations, and each one is recognized as a different subspecies. The Blesbok is the more numerous of the two, with an estimated 55,000 individuals. Most of them are found in the eastern part of South Africa, especially in the vast grassland region of the High Veld. Meanwhile, the Bontebok has a smaller population and is listed as vulnerable or at risk. It is estimated that only about 1,600 fully mature Bontebok remain. They can be found in the southwestern coastal region of South Africa in a beautiful type of shrubland known as fynbos. To protect this subspecies, the Bontebok National Park was established in 1931. It is also the smallest national park in South Africa, covering an area of approximately 28 square kilometers. Although the two subspecies look almost identical, it is said that the Bontebok has shinier fur and a slightly purple hue, a characteristic not found in the Blesbok. The newborn calves of both subspecies have lighter colored fur and are usually born from August to early December. In the past, it was believed that the Blesbok was migratory or moved from place to place. But due to excessive hunting in the 19th century, it was almost completely wiped out. At present, the remaining populations are usually found only in small, fenced reserves where they form groups of up to 25 individuals. This antelope belongs to a genus that has one other species. They have similar horn shapes, but their fur colors are different. And unfortunately, that's also the last animal on our list. According to the IUCN, this animal is called the Topi. However, there are other references that use the names Sasabi or Tasasabi. All of these names refer to different populations of the same group, but because scientists are still debating the exact classification of this species, these names are often used interchangeably. The habitat range of the Topi is very similar to the hartebeest. It can be found in the vast grasslands of Africa from West and Central Africa, north to the northeastern part of South Africa in the south. Unlike the other antelopes we discussed, even though it also has many subspecies, their physical appearance is almost the same. Only in a few populations can you see slight differences, especially in the shape of their horns. Because of its similar color, the Topi is often mistaken for the red hartebeest. But it's easy to tell the two apart because the Topi's horns have a simpler and less curved shape. This species is almost as large as the black wildebeest and can weigh up to 325 pounds. But what truly sets the Topi apart is its unique behavior, especially when it comes to group living, reproduction, and caring for its young. Male topus have different strategies when it comes to finding a mate. Some males defend their own territory, while others gather together to form what is called a lek. A lek is a group of male topis that gather at the start of the breeding season. The strongest and most dominant males position themselves at the center of the group. Because of that, female topus most often go there to choose a mate. Calves are usually born at the end of the dry season. After birth, there are two ways of raising them, depending on the mother's decision and the amount of cover in the surroundings. The first is the follower strategy. In this way, the calf is born right within the herd and immediately joins the group. Because of this, it is protected by many adult members against predators. The second is the hider strategy. In this way, the mother gives birth to her offspring in a place far from the herd so that predators cannot easily find it. After a few months, only then is the calf brought back to the main group. Whatever method the mother chooses, the calf stays with her for about a year before it finally becomes independent. Once the young topus become independent, they start living on their own. However, they are not yet able to reproduce immediately. Females reach full sexual maturity at the age of 16 to 18 months, while males usually reach it when they are 3 years old. The size of their herds also varies greatly depending on the type of habitat and other environmental factors. There are groups that consist of fewer than 10 individuals, while others form very large migratory herds that can reach hundreds of animals. Although the animal migrations in Africa are impressive, the largest migration in terms of the number of animals is not found here, nor is it the one with the longest distance traveled. If you want to know which animals have the largest and longest migrations in the world, that will be discussed in the next video about the 20 most amazing migrations of the largest animals. Thank you very much for watching and see you in the next video.